What's up everyone, we're back with another movie review. Let's get right into the plot. The live-action Moana movie follows the adventurous daughter of a Polynesian tribal chief. When a mysterious blight threatens her island of Motunui, she is chosen by the ocean to find the demigod Maui. Together they embark on a dangerous voyage to return the stolen heart of Te Fiti and save her people. Now if you watch the original Moana movie, this is pretty much the exact same storyline. And for some viewers, this might be a problem, this might be an issue where you might be expecting something different. But for me, I am a fan when they make the exact same story the same as the original, because literally what we want is just a live action representation of the animated movie. And in this movie, this is pretty much exactly what you get. Now I'm going to give you my ratings right up front. I have two ratings on this channel. One is my professional critic rating, where we're looking at it objectively. And then I have my personal casual rating, where I'm looking subjectively. If I'm biased, if I love the original for whatever it is, or if I'm a fan of a certain actor, then of course I'm gonna rate it a little bit higher. So for this one, for my critical rating, I'm giving this a...
Really?
Yeah, we're the Power Rangers.
Woo! Where's my autograph book? Ah! Power Rangers, huh?
5 out of 10. Now I'll explain all the pros and cons shortly, but to give you my casual rating, I'm giving this a...
I have witnessed their capacity for courage. And though we are worlds apart, like us, there's more to them.
A 7 out of 10. Now for the pros, in my opinion, of course, I don't think other people might not have noticed this if you're not a fan of the original movie, the original script, and the original jokes, because in this new movie, this live action remake, they have so many new minor jokes that they added on to the previous jokes, if that makes sense. One of the particular examples I remember is when the crab guy is singing his song. I forgot the character's name because I'm bad with names. So when he's singing his song, at the end of the song, I think in the original he says, "Did you like the song?" when they escape the hell bottom they're in. But in this new one, he makes a funny extra joke saying like, "Can I get some feedback? Give me some notes." So like little jokes and hints like that are so funny if you're a fan of the original. A second pro to me, this is obviously a hit or miss, is I was a fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, because if you're a genuine fan of his in general, then I think you will enjoy his performance in this movie. Obviously if you don't take it that serious, which is hard not to, because he is wearing a wig. And the wig, it wasn't, when I first saw the wig in promo, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? But then as you see more and more of him wearing the wig, it really isn't that bad. So I was a fan of The Rock. I thought his punchlines were very funny. He had a lot of confidence, and he was very charismatic and almost, dare I say, fearless, because he is in a children's movie, right? This is a family movie. He's acting silly. He's literally portraying his character of Maui in real life. So I thought that was so cool and so funny. And I don't want to say brave, right? Because some actors are so serious and so dramatic, they would never do a children's movie like this where they're acting silly, wearing a wig for the sake of the character. So I just give The Rock a lot of credit for that. And there is a new song. When I spoke, there isn't much of different stuff in regards to the story. The one thing I did notice besides the new jokes is that there is a new song called Along the Way. There's one in the language of the Islanders. I don't know the language, but there's an American version during the end credits. And that song is definitely a hit. It's definitely a banger. I had a great time listening to it. It definitely gets you hype and gets you motivated. And it was just a fun song. And once again, as I mentioned before about the story being the exact same, for me, I will count this as a pro, because, I mean, it's hard to make everyone happy, right? But for me, I did find this as a positive that they made this live action movie of Moana the exact same storyline and the exact same character identity as the animated characters. Like, there's no race swapping, there's no new characters, there's no new storylines or places they gotta go to, and there's no like new songs where they're singing themselves. The new song that I just mentioned is a song in the background while they're like on their voyage. So it's not like Moana or Maui is singing a new song in this movie, if that makes sense. So I was a fan of that. I did enjoy how they kept everything the same. Whereas some of you watching this, you might hate that. You might find that as a negative, as a con, and you wish there was something new added. But I just don't see the point. If it's a live action of an animated movie, just keep it all the same, because we just want a new visual representation of that movie. So I enjoyed that. So now you're probably wondering, wow, you gave so many pros in regards to you also giving this a bad rating, a 5 out of 10 from the critic point of view and a 7 out of 10 from my personal point of view. That's because although I have a few pros, and I do have less cons. These cons are more impactful in my opinion. Starting with number one, I would say the acting could have been much better from my point of view in regards to the main actress. Although I believe she's a teenager, right? Obviously she's a child. I just felt like she could have had more emotion shown in regards to just kind of like a regular like face showing. She could have shown more emotions, I feel. Same thing with like the parents. Although they had short scenes, I just felt like they could have also shown more emotions. But some others, like I watched this with my sister, and she did think the sisters and the Moana actress did great. But for me, I just felt like they could have done more in regards to showing their emotions. And like I said, I thought The Rock did his thing. That's just me with The Rock. And also the grandma. The grandma stuck out from the beginning. Every scene with the grandma was very emotional, and she was a great actress. And I've seen her somewhere before, I just can't remember. But I did love the performance from the grandma. But overall, I just felt like the acting in general from all the characters could have been much better. This isn't necessarily, I guess, a negative or a con on paper. It's more of a subjective viewpoint, right? But just like I mentioned, the acting, I would also give the singing a con, because I just felt the main actress and some of the other side characters like the parents, the villagers, I did not like their singing as much. And I think it's because I love the original so much, where those voices are so perfected and like ingrained in those characters. So when you hear like new voices or new melodies or harmonies, I'm like, hold up, this sounds off. It sounds like the Temu version, the Walmart Great Value. I don't even know if I could put great in it, but it's good, it's decent, it's just different. But for me, that was a con. And this is another obvious for you movie watchers out there. There's so much green screens going on nowadays, and obviously watching the trailer, you know there was going to be plenty of green screen in this movie, and which there was. And I just feel like some scenes could have had better green screen in regards to just the simple quiet scenes of like characters having dialogue, or characters being by themselves with the ocean behind them. Like that's where the green screen was kind of lame in my opinion, whereas some of the visual effects were really great towards the end of the movie, I felt, in regards to like looking at everything from a distance, in regards to just straight up visual effects action. But in regards to the downtime, I just felt like that was poor green screen. Now to talk about my favorite scenes. This will not be any spoilers, it's just giving you a heads up of what I enjoyed most while watching this movie. So back to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I would say You're Welcome was a classic scene. The way they brought this to life was very fun. His charisma, his dancing, his silliness, and all the background animations going on. I enjoyed that scene of You're Welcome. And similar to You're Welcome was the crab scene, the crab musical. Like I said, how they mentioned like new jokes. I felt like I saw at the beginning of this, he like mentioned like it looked like he was preparing so long to do this musical with all the other critters down there, and he put on a hell of a performance. I just thought that scene alone was just so funny and so cool to look at visually, because obviously it's not real, it's visual effects, it's not even green screen, it's straight up animation, right? But I just thought it was very fun. And another scene, like I said, if you watch the original Moana, this is no spoilers, it's literally the same scenes, just in a different visual effects style. Because technically it's not live action, because these characters are not real people, right? It's a freaking coconut, it's a crab. And that's my third favorite scene, is with the coconuts. I already forgot their freaking name. And meanwhile, it's one of my favorite movies, Moana. I'm not even going to butcher the name right now, but the one with all the crazy coconuts ambushing them. When you see their freaking ship, you think it's one ship, and just like the movie, it's like three ships all in one. And I just thought the visual effects, like I said, were very cool in regards to that action scene. And just to give another final scene, I would give it to the grandmother again. Every scene with the grandmother was very beautiful and impactful and meaningful. So shout out to the actress. And along with Moana, the young actress. I feel like when she did have dialogue with the mother, she did do much better in regards to those emotional scenes. But overall, anything with the grandmother was very emotional. Now for my favorite characters, obviously I keep mentioning him. I'm giving this to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Maui. I thought he did great and just did not care and had fun. Second, I would actually give it to the chicken. If you're a fan of the original, you might remember the chicken. He snuck on the boat, and this guy somehow stayed alive throughout the whole movie, right? So in this movie, in live action, it's obviously not a real chicken, it's animated chicken, but the way they had the visual effects on the chicken, his reactions, his emotions, his clumsiness was so funny. And honestly, he kind of stole the show throughout the whole movie. So shout outs to the chicken. And once again, my favorite character, I would have to give it to the grandmother, because she also stole the show and stole every scene she was in. Now for some fun facts about this movie that I've researched. Dwayne Johnson reprises his role as Maui, making this the first time an actor physically portrays the same character in a Disney animated feature and its live-action counterpart. Now, from the original movie, the main voice actor that played Moana, I believe her name is Alule Cravolo, I cannot pronounce her name, but she actually became an executive producer for this new live action movie. And if you're a fan of her from the original, especially her voice, her beautiful singing, you will notice her singing along with the new Moana actress during the credit scenes. That Along the Way song that I mentioned previously, she has a feature on that song with her and the new Moana actress actually have great harmony together. And I found this one very interesting, but over 2,000 handmade costumes were created and no two were alike. Every background performer wore a unique costume. The costume department produced thousands of yards of custom tapa cloth and handcrafted more than 2,000 garments inspired by the traditional Pacific craftsmanship. Now this one, I'm not sure if I believe it or not, but this is what I found. The village of Motunui wasn't CGI, it was a real village. The production built an enormous 10-acre village outside Atlanta over 5 months, complete with 5 massive traditional houses, more than 250 coconut palms, and an irrigation system to keep everything alive. I don't know if I believe all that, honestly, because like I said, there is a lot of green screen. But I guess during the village sequences, you can see palm trees, greenery, village people. I mean, I don't know, there's a lot going on. But I think for me, I probably got distracted from the acting performances like I mentioned. And there was also a lot of dancing. The dancing was cool to watch. But that is impressive if they actually built the island scenes. But as you know with Moana, it's mostly on the water, right? Which is honestly what we all love. So shout outs to like the original creators of Moana in regard to their innovation in animation in regards to the hair flowing in the wind or whether if it's the water. And just the character development, right? Because if you didn't have that great original movie, you wouldn't have a sequel, which I'm not too crazy about, but this live action movie. Now for me, I probably would rank this live action movie second in regards to my favorite of the franchise so far, because like I said, I wasn't a fan of the second movie as much. But overall, I hope you all enjoyed this fun, friendly review of Moana, Maui, Grandmama, everybody, the chicken. It was a fun time watching this, and I think for everyone, it's one of these movies that you will expect whatever you expect, right? Like if you expect crappy green screen or The Rock performing like The Rock all silly and crazy and whatnot, or just poor acting or just typical Disney live action bullshit, right? Whether they have more or less of what you want in a live action, then that's probably what you're gonna get with this movie. But let me know down in the comments where you stand in regards to that. Are you happy with this version of the live action remake in regards to other live action Disney movies? Let me know some of your favorite live action Disney movies in general outside of the Moana movie. Actually, a few weeks ago I went to Subway on my lunch break, and obviously you guys know they usually do like promotional crossovers between food and certain movies that come out, right? But they did have a collection of Moana cups that you could buy for $1 at Subway. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna buy one. And this is before I was really 100% sure I was gonna watch the movie, but I just love collecting things, right? And I did love the original Moana. And since I love the original Moana, I got the one cup that kind of symbolized the original one. Because the new cups, of course, they had the new actors, the live action actors, and I wasn't sure if I would have enjoyed their performances or not. So before I got that, I got the Tattoo Maui, the animated one. So as you see here, I'm gonna show you guys some B-roll, but this alone is just so cool to me for $1. Why not? It's literally him lassoing the sun, like he says in his lyric. So I thought this was very fun, and let's put this on the shelf right now. And if you're new here, going forward, if I have any piece of physical media, whether if it's a movie, book, video game, or a product, or an item, or a sculpture, anything that relates to what I'm talking about in the video, it will get added to my massive, bodacious bookshelf. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this type of video, this type of specific review flow, hopefully you subscribe. If not, I'll see you around the way. Take care.